Well, I've always grown up watching pro wrestling. I really grew up a skinny, little, scrawny, nerdy kid. Thought really never crossed my mind to get into wrestling until there was a point when Stone Cold Steve Austin and WWE was really getting hot. It was groundbreaking at the time, and me and my friends just went berserk when we saw it, and my friend and I both declared we need to do this. We need to be professional wrestlers. And we both signed up at the same time. He quit 2 weeks later, but 13 years later, here I am, still doing it.
I got interested in wrestling very, like the early fall, one year, I think it was like, 99 or 2000, I can't even remember. I knew there was a wrestling school in Hagerstown. It wasn't very far. I was always looking for something to do. I was like, why don't I just go down there and sign up? That'll be fun, be something fun to do. So I signed up and met Derek there. I think I was there 2 months. And we started dating.
Basically what happened was there was 5 guys who came up with the idea of Indie Pro Entertainment. The idea is it's just a bunch of friends having a wrestling league and we don't have to work for an asshole. I stepped up and bought the ring, and eventually, one by one, the guys couldn't afford it and it all fell on me. And next thing I know, I'm in charge. It wasn't something I applied for. It wasn't something I asked to do. When people ask what time the show is, I should just fucking lie and say that it's 6 o'clock so that they come on time. It's 7:30? Okay, I'll be here at 7:29.
Where's Andrew and Herman?
I don't know!
Where's everybody at?
I don't know! Someone else please ask me where people are.
Do you have a
Anyone
baby yet?
want to ask me where the Kermans are or where Xander Maddox is?
You know, we spent many years not really knowing if we were going to have kids or not. For a long time, I thought that we would be okay if we didn't. So we made the decision to do it. And at first I was scared. You know, everybody is scared, I guess. But now that he's here, I'm just like blown away.
And if Indie Pro Entertainment hadn't really fallen on me, all the responsibility, I probably would be taking time off right now. But honestly, I don't see myself taking time off, you know, because of having a baby. As far as the day of the show, I show up as early as possible. I try to help set up the ring if they need help with that. I try to help set up the screen. I try to make sure everything's ready, get the table set up for people who want to sell things, get the chair set up. I do whatever I can. It's an all-day event for me. I get up early, I get out there. I'm the first one there usually, and I'm one of the last to leave.
Like yesterday, he went to a show, and my first thought was, man, I really want to go. I mean, I enjoy watching. I enjoy being, even if I'm not doing anything, just kind of going and supporting him.
And I start getting stressed out, and people start calling me with their problems, telling me that they got to cancel. And I make the extra effort to try to make shit make sense, which is rare in wrestling. I want our angles to, tell a story. And the real challenge is these guys have real lives and real jobs, and some of them can't make the next show, and some of them have to cancel at the last minute, and it's really hard to make that make sense. Explain why this guy isn't here. He said he was going to be here, and now he's not. Well, he got jumped in the parking lot or something like that. I guess the bottom line, you get knocked out, you count to 3, and then you magically recover and referee the next match. I guess that's all we can do.
No, I mean, everybody has a hobby, right?
Yeah.
Lots of people do, and that's just his hobby. It's a little bit more unusual than most, but everybody has something that they like to go do, and they spend time away from their families with, or go with their families with. So I really don't see how that's any different, really.
I schedule the shows, I pay for the venue, I pay for the insurance, I bought pretty much everything including the ring. You have to pay for, every little thing, and it all adds up to the point where there's nothing left for the wrestlers. And to pay them all $20 adds up too. That ends up being $300-400. So you get $20 after a wrestling match. Usually you're pretty happy.
I'm not the typical wrestling wife. Most wives are just so panicked when they see their husbands wrestle. They're so afraid that they're going to get hurt. And yes, I realize that there is a potential for that.
I got a gray hair right there. I gotta pluck that. I've been pretty lucky as far as injuries go. My knees are my worst problem. I've probably dislocated my knees a total of 8 times in the ring. I've had a couple of concussions, possibly more than a couple.
I feel like there's nothing that's going to happen that we can't get through. So it's not something that I particularly worry about that much.
I kind of have the attitude of, if it happens, it happens. You know, there's nothing I can do. I mean, we're all trained to take care of each other and not hurt each other, so we're never trying to get hurt.
Most of the time, he's working wrestling guys that are going to take care of him, and they're friends, and that he's wrestled many times, and the chances are slim. I don't worry about it that much.
You know, I try to make sure whoever I'm working with gets the idea of what we're doing, and depending on who he is. You know, some guys, you don't have to talk over anything. You know that they're going to wing it really well in the ring. A lot of it's improvised, and some guys you have to go over every little detail and make sure they got it. I kind of prefer that, because I feel like if I know what I want to do, if he has a general idea, I can kind of call it in the ring, because there's a lot of talking in the ring.
Oh, yeah, probably next. Now's a bad time. Match coming up right now. Don't want to bring the money to the ring. Hold on to that. Hold on to that.
I will do that.
What? I need to know about the raffle.
What about the raffle?
The auction things.
I gotta think now. This is a bad time.
This is a bad time.
Maybe later we'll talk.
Okay.
Because I don't know what you're talking about. Good talk to Robin. That works out great.
He's scaring us. Calm down. Should do it before the main event. He's scaring us. Okay. Well, where
Thanks for the tip.
scaring us.
Scary. What do you want me to do?
Go out there and beat him up.
Beat him up. Got it.
I don't even know what normal people do. When I have a Saturday off and I don't have a wrestling show, I say to myself, what do normal people do? I don't even know. I don't know what to do with myself. It absolutely gets stressful. It stresses the hell out of me. And up until the show, I always tell myself, this isn't worth it. I gotta stop doing this. But then once it happens, and you see it happen, and you see the fans who showed up, and our audience just keeps growing, so you know that they're liking it, and they're telling their friends about it. And once it's all over, it happens, and you see them all leave, and they're happy, and they're talking about how they're gonna come back. It makes it all worth it. It makes me think, man, I can't wait for the next one. And I think what makes Indie Pro succeed is really the fact that I know that I don't know what I'm doing. I believe that every professional wrestler to some degree is insane, and I speak for myself as well. I think that we're all crazy in different levels, but I watch so many people get sick of it and quit, and they never quit for good. Everybody who retires comes back, no matter what level or what age. They end up getting the itch to come back, and that's why I'll never say, well, I'm gonna be done in a year. I know just from observing other people that I'll never know when I'm really done. And I don't think anybody really knows why. I don't know why we like dressing up in stretchy clothes and pretending to fight other grown men in stretchy clothes. But there's something about it we can't, it's an addiction, I guess. I don't know.